Hey guys, I am Mario. This is an episode of Senator's Garden. We are going to talk about irrigation, drip irrigation. If you want to see an episode of Doc's house, we have the most recent episode on an outdoor light fixture right here. We got the one about painting here. And then episode 1, the original about recessed lights, is here. So if you're sticking around for Senator's Garden, we're going to talk a little bit about drip irrigation versus using a sprinkler. We will do a time lapse in the middle, and then at the end we will have some final thoughts.
So today we are going to change up the irrigation for the garden. If you watch the last part of the last video with the bulbs, after tilling all of the land and putting in the beds, laid down some grass seed and then used a sprinkler to hit not only the beds, not only the bulbs, but also the grass seed. With that, it was better to have it a little elevated. If you get a sprinkler up in the air a little bit, its range is better and it's a little bit more even. But now that we got the grass, started, we want to be a little bit more efficient with our water. We're going to do drip irrigation. We have some hoses that have tiny little perforations so that when you run water through them, it's just going to mist. It's going to spray lightly, even depending on how much you turn on the hose, how much you turn the valve. It may even just drip out a little bit. And we're going to hang that hose above the beds. This, with the way that the garden's set up, it's kind of a perimeter garden with an open space in the middle. It's a little bit more efficient than a sprinkler. If you're planting rows, a sprinkler might be a good option for you. We're everywhere. You got plants, but if you're going to plant in beds, drip irrigation is a great way to keep your plants watered. So before we, start with the hoses, we're going to start with the hoe. This right here, is a pretty big hoe. We're going to use it to shape the soil that's around the plants. You can use a smaller hoe if you want. So we'll get that shaped up, put in the hoses, and that's it for today. Final thoughts afterwards.
All right, final thoughts. The hose, there's two hoses. They've been in the house for a while, and some of the perforations are unequal. And then also, I am losing a little bit of water in places where no bulbs, no vegetables. So might get out some tape and try to tape those shut a little bit. See if I got some plumbing supplies that might close that up so that we're not leaking out of the spots that we don't want to leak out of. That's it. That is the end of Senator's Garden. If you do want to check out Doc's house, click right here. Also consider subscribing right here.